just got some status.
Oh.
I don't want to brag, but we're platinum members, and now we get a nice little deal with one of the rental cars.
Okay.
I don't know if we have a rental car sponsor. Show is live.
Yes. It's that time of the season.
It's our last regular show. I don't want to say our last show because then people won't remember to come for the Grind City Media Holiday Spectacular tomorrow, where you and I will be back, but at 9 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock.
I told you I'm bringing moms in.
No, we're going to have a live studio audience.
We got one now. Moms is coming in.
2 days in a row of live
in a
studio
row.
audiences.
2 in a row.
Yeah, but is your mom going to bring her wonderful church congregation with signs?
No. No. They, after the draft party, I think they said, yeah, we can't kick it with CJ no more.
He said, that man needs Jesus.
They did.
That show needs Jesus.
Funny you bring that up. One of my mom's Christmas gifts for me this year was a sweater that said, y'all need Jesus.
Do you think she's sending you a sign?
What sign?
That you need Jesus.
I bought the gift.
Oh, I thought you meant her gift to you.
One of the gifts I bought my mom was that.
That's
No,
nice.
no, she's not subtle. She just comes out and tells me you need Jesus.
She's not subtle.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I can't wait to see your mom.
Yeah.
We're gonna gang up on you.
You can try.
About what? I don't know.
You can try, but like it's. You think I care what you people think?
No, because it'll be the last show of the year.
Yeah, it will.
And then we have a 4-day weekend.
Do you guys do superstition on New Year's Day?
No.
Okay.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like what?
Black eyed peas for luck.
Oh.
Greens for money.
You know, my mom used to do the black eyed peas, but I just
Clean.
never grasped onto it.
Don't clean anything on
Or
New
the
Year's
pickled
Day.
herring.
Pickled herring?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's disgusting.
Look me up. Tell me about that tradition. I'm
don't know.
unfamiliar.
I don't even
Why
know
are we
what
eating
it is.
pickled herring on? You're eating it?
Yeah.
You got to have somebody who doesn't live in the house come into the house.
Okay,
for
eating
good
pickled
luck.
herring on New Year's Eve at midnight is a tradition
midnight?
in parts of Europe, Scandinavia, Germany, Poland,
Yeah.
Baltics, and the American Midwest to bring good luck, prosperity, and abundance for the new year, symbolizing silver coins and plentiful fish.
Yeah, believe it or not, that region's not my
It didn't
people.
get to you?
No.
What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, December 30th, New Year's Eve. It's going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, it is a Grizzlies game day, the last Grizzlies game day of 2025 as they take on the Philadelphia 76ers tonight at FedEx Forum. Mike Wallace will join us to talk all about it. Week 17 in the NFL ended with a surprise with the Falcons taking down the Rams. We'll get into that game. Is there even a Super Bowl favorite this year? We'll discuss NBA action last night. Jokic got hurt. We'll get into all of that. And then we will have a special guest on today's show. 3-time college commissioner, the MAC, the WAC, the Sunbelt, Karl Benson, a.k.a. my dad, will join us. He's here for the holiday. So we'll talk about the state of college sports, college football playoff. A former NBA draft pick is joining Baylor mid-season. We'll get his thoughts on all that and more. It is a Tuesday. You know what we say. Almost Happy New Year. Almost see you next year.
Tomorrow's going to be tough for you. What are you going to say?
See you next year.
Oh, you're not going to say if
Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
The Grizzlies are the one thing everyone in the family can agree on. So join us every Sunday this season for Sunday Family Fun Days. It's a steal at just $35 and includes a ticket to the game, a $10 food voucher, post-game free throws on the court, and a meet and greet with mascot Grizz. Space is limited, so grab your tickets now for this unique experience your family won't soon forget. Go to grizzlies.com/Sunday and have a fun day.
are you able to release and have an instrumental song become a huge deal?
And I forget who the disc jockey was, but he put the wrong side on. He put the Green Onions by mistake and played the B side instead of the A side.
No!
And that's when the change happened. These people started to call the station and say, play that song again.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. One exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out. Let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Happy last Tuesday of 2025. CJ, I'm a little disappointed in you this morning.
What'd I do?
I thought you would start the show with a very important announcement. I thought maybe you would have brought me a crown.
For what?
I thought maybe you would have at least had some confetti.
For what?
Because you run a very stupid fantasy football league.
Did you win it?
It is called CJ's Very Stupid League. And last night I became the champion of CJ's Very Stupid League by defeating my very own husband, Chris Luther, who now has to take my last name, Chris Luther Benson. I just made up that rule for us, but I think I beat him in the championship. I think it's only fair. In your stupid league, thanks to Bijan Robinson.
Chris complains about this league to the point of being almost in tears and frustration, shaking, trembling with rage
Correct.
every time he sees me. And this is the second year in a row he's made it to the championship game.
He's really good at fantasy football.
Hey,
it's
listen.
really annoying.
Okay. So maybe don't complain about it so much next year, Chris. I'm making it stupider.
Two of the leagues,
Yeah.
two of the three leagues I'm in with Chris.
You beat
I'm
him?
the champion this year.
Oh.
I'm the champion
nice.
this year. It feels good.
Bijan had a monster game.
I had some money put in my bank. We'll talk about the monster game of Bijan
It
Robinson.
wasn't for my
I just
league.
wanted
Oh,
a crown.
wait.
I just wanted some
We gotta
recognition.
get a trophy. But
A belt.
It's a stupid league. You get like
A shirt.
a court jester hat,
A Grind City Media hat.
a dunce cap, right?
Yeah,
That's what the winner of this league
But then you like
gets.
avoid it.
Yeah,
I don't want to
well,
win this stupid league.
it's
I
a
want to feel
stupid
proud
league.
of winning the stupid league. We'll get into the Monday Night Football happenings last night. Did want to mention off the top, Grizzlies Game Day tonight. We'll talk about it with Mike Wallace in segment number 2. But I came in this morning and this lunchbox was sitting on my desk. This lunchbox is awesome. It's the Call 12 on one side. It's the Block Panther on the other side. It is the giveaway for the first fans who come through the building tonight at FedEx Forum for Grizzlies Sixers as the Grizzlies try to close out 2025 with one last win. They can't reach 500 because I don't know if you know, CJ, they lost to the Washington Wizards 2 times in 8 days. But they can get one game closer with a win over the Sixers tonight. We'll talk about that with Mike Wallace. As for the Monday Night Football happenings last night, Falcons beat the Rams 27-24. I got to the game, CJ, right as Bijan Robinson himself was taking off for a 93-yard touchdown run that put the Falcons up 21-0. I was like rubbing my eyes saying, the Falcons are about to be up 21-0, and then I was also rubbing my eyes because they were a blur as Bijan Robinson makes one guy miss and proceeds to just take off.
That's just hat on the hat blocking right there. If you're going to tote that tater, you need those hog mollies up front, boy, and they were hitting out there.
Not the hog mollies.
Got to get the hog mollies.
The tater was toted. It felt like he could have run for another 100.
Can we see that again, Jacob?
Oh, we can see it 100 times.
Like, look at, there's nobody in the hole.
There's no one there.
There's
right
that
here.
one guy misses a tackle, and everybody else is
and
blocked.
And you're out.
Everybody, that's incredible blocking. And he's
just flying.
A freakish athlete.
And then he
also.
could just keep going. He looks like Forrest Gump when he just doesn't stop running. Mohamed Sanu tweeted last night that he runs like he's at recess.
Yes.
And I said, that's the perfect description.
Makes
he
sense.
runs like he's at recess. He's just a kid, and he's running his face off. I swear, give him Offensive Player of the Year. Just give Bijan Robinson Offensive Player of the Year. I don't care that he doesn't lead the league in rushing yards. I don't care that he doesn't lead the league in receiving yards. He has 2,255 yards from scrimmage this season, which is 200 more than the next guy. And the next guy is Christian McCaffrey. And he's averaging over 5 yards a carry. And he has 80 catches this year. Like, he has been so much fun to watch. We've talked about him time and time again. The Rams did mount a comeback, and it looked like they might end up being able to steal that one back from the Falcons last night. My favorite play of the game was the blocked field goal return for the touchdown. CJ, we drafted like most fun sports plays, or like what sports plays would feel the coolest to do in real life, and I would like to resubmit my list because I think blocking a kick of any kind, but where it comes directly into your hands and you're like, got it. And then you just take off for that kind of touchdown. Very fun there. We also almost had a catch of the year from Puka Nacua, but it was not a catch of the year. And instead it is what is a catch? It wasn't a catch. Like, it was very clearly, I won't say very clearly, because the first angle that I saw, I said, that's a catch. That's one of the best catches I've ever seen. That is the catch of the year. That's the kind of catch that makes you feel like the receiver has glue on his gloves because he palmed that thing, and the footwork to stay in bounds, and the toe is dragging. But then you get the second angle, and it's a little bobbly.
I love this time of the year. Reminds me every single year, right around now, I have no clue what a catch is. I cannot define a catch. When I see it, I don't really know if it's a catch or not. There are moments when it's like, you know what a catch is.
But then I'm like, I know.
July, I know exactly what a catch is in July. May, I know precisely what one of those is. Hell, even in September and October, it's like, oh, yeah. These are very clearly catches, and these are very clearly not catches.
But it's December 30th.
Right around January, all that wisdom goes out the window. It's like, is it a catch? Is it bobbling? Is his arm all the way underneath it? Does he have control? Because he can touch the ground if he has control, but as long as he has his hands on the outside or under it, but like his toe is down. But he got two toes down, but the two toes are on the same foot. You got to get the two toes in on opposite feet. Can't be bobbling, but it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it's bobbly. Doesn't look like it. Looks like he controls it, but it does move ever so slightly. You can see the laces sort of turn a bit.
If I squint, I think I spy movement. But if I don't squint, maybe I don't.
Maybe I don't.
And maybe the toe is in. And maybe the arm.
Get closer. Get super closer. Enhance that thing for me. Enhance it and slow it down. Give me my magnifying glasses.
It wasn't a catch. So he doesn't get it.
Listen, if you don't throw 3 interceptions, you don't have to worry about whether or not it's a catch or not. You're probably in a good spot and you win that game. That's what
Same thing where you don't have to worry about a pass interference call.
Yep.
Like if you don't put yourself in the 21-0 hole, you don't have to worry about the action at the end of the game.
That's what did the Rams in. Matthew Stafford had done such a good job and has done a really good job this year taking care of the ball. But it's just one of those things where every now and then it happens. And if it happens at the wrong time, playoffs, Super Bowl, it's going to cost you. You're not going to beat teams, fine teams, like average teams. Falcons are average, I would say. You're not going to beat them turning the ball over 3 times. What are you going to do when you play the Seahawks or the 49ers? The Bears lead the league in forced turnovers.
Over 3 times too.
Well, hey, that's what you need to bank on. But the Bears are leading the league in turnovers. You're going to have to go on the road to somebody. Who are you going to play? Although I think the Bears and the Packers are set, right? Yeah. Aren't they? I think Bears are 2, Packers are 7, no matter what.
Yes.
Either way it goes.
Yes, the only things that can change are 1, 5, and 6.
Okay.
I believe.
So either way it goes, man. Like you can't turn the ball over 3 times. You can't, no matter how good your offense is, no matter how good your defense is. The most valuable thing on the football field is the football itself. Value that thing, man. Lang did say this. Lang was like, yeah, this is the game the Falcons win.
Now it sets the Falcons up for the best thing that could happen if you don't make obviously the best thing is to make the playoffs. But if you can't make the playoffs, the next best thing would be to be directly responsible for the New Orleans Saints not making the playoffs. And now if the Falcons beat the Saints next week, then the Saints are not in the playoffs and the Panthers get in. Or no, the Bucs get in.
The Bucs. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but like that's the thing. I wanted to ask Lang this. If he's around, I'll talk to him. Because sure, you keep the Bucs out, but the Panthers get in. Which one would you rather have the Falcons?
The Panthers control their own destiny. If the Panthers win, if the Panthers beat the Bucs, they're in no matter what. If the Falcons beat the Saints, then the Panthers don't even have to beat the Bucs to get in. That's the way it works.
So, yes. That's why that game is being played on Saturday.
You might this time of year say, what is a catch? I, this time of year, am always saying, what exactly are all the scenarios that work out for the playoff position?
Do you want to run through them off
No, no. But I did find myself last night, I mean, the primary, and we've had this conversation so many times this season, but watching the Rams lose that game in the way they did, watching Matthew Stafford throw 3 picks, someone who has been
He had 5 coming into the game.
Yes, and someone who has been close to the clear cut for MVP later in the season or as the season progressed. Yes, there is a competition there with Drake May, and now even more so, Drake May has usurped Matthew Stafford in the MVP odds. And a part of this is recency bias. I mean, Drake May just had a 5-touchdown game against the Jets, and I don't care that it was against the Jets. He had a better statistical game of any quarterback that's played the Jets this season. But Drake May trends up, and Matthew Stafford, the last thing you just saw was 5 picks going into this game, 3 picks in this game, and 2 straight losses for the Rams to put them in a position where they go from being, hey, that's going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC to this is a wild card team. And it just speaks to the NFL in its entirety this season. We do not have a Super Bowl favorite. There is not one team that I look at and say, that's it. That's the favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. That's the team that I think has the best chance to win the Super Bowl this year. Do you have one?
Well, no. Before the Devontae Adams injury, it still would have been the Rams no matter what for me. But when we've talked about it, we've been doing this since October, you and I. All right, this team has the quarterback. 1 possession, you got to go down and get in scoring range. This team has Matthew Stafford, or this team has Josh Allen, and they can get you down in scoring range. This team has Jalen Hurts. He can get you in scoring range, and you're going to win that game. But this team has a defense that is incredible. This team is the Broncos. This team is the Seahawks, where their defenses are just so damn good that you're not going to have a 1-possession game because they get up 10 and that's it. It's over. You're not going to be able to catch up to it. And then there are teams where it's like, oh, this is quirky. The Bears are averaging 2 turnovers per game, 32 turnovers forced on the season so far. If they can continue to turn teams over like that, the most valuable thing on the field is the football. If they're the ones getting the football, they're getting the extra opportunities. They could go out there and do some things. And listen, I'm saying this, and I know how it sounds, but I don't think anybody wants to go. Where do they play? Charlotte? Nobody wants to go play the Panthers in Carolina because that team is quirky. You're talking about somebody who has beaten the Packers. They've beaten the Rams. They've shown an ability to beat good teams. They're there. They're playing with house money. They're loose. There's some excitement there. I don't think anybody wants to see them in the playoffs. The team nobody wants to face, if it was me, the Carolina Panthers.
The quirky Carolina Panthers.
The quirky Carolina
Everyone's always
Panthers.
afraid of those quirky Carolina Panthers.
You got somebody like the Texans. It's like, oh, they're defensively, they're going to lock you down also.
Well, I saw that. I think it was George Kittle over the weekend said it best. Like, it's a year when anyone can lose it. That's the way that he described it. Anyone can lose it. So it almost turns into who is the favorite to win the Super Bowl? Who's the most likely to lose a game they are supposed to win? I mean, I look at all 3 of those 13-3 teams, the Seahawks, the Broncos, and the Patriots. I think I feel, as I sit here in my Denver Broncos sweatshirt, I think I feel the best about the Patriots of the 3. But I could make a case for any of those 3 teams inexplicably losing a playoff game. I could make a case for anyone. Watching Josh Allen this past week, sweat, metaphorical tears. The team has been carried on his back all year. I'm like, can he do this in the playoffs? I guess that he'll be able to sit through this week and rest up and hopefully get to a place where
everybody
everyone's
is one
hurt,
everybody's
everyone's tired.
One injury away from, all right, this thing is going to collapse. Josh Allen in that game, once he hurt his foot or his ankle, it was clear, he's hobbled. He does not have whatever he needs to have to push them through this. Saquon Barkley is pretty sure he's playing with like a stinger or something like that that's affecting his upper body and his ability to lower the shoulder and go through dudes. And so it's like, okay, if he goes down or Jalen Hurts goes down, what are the Philadelphia Eagles going to be able to do? The only team I feel confident about from that standpoint, being able to play through injuries and players being hurt, the 49ers. And I'm only confident in them because they've been doing it all year. All year long, they've dealt with major injuries to major pieces of that team, both offensively and defensively. And you look up, and they're right there with a chance at the number 1 seed in the playoffs. Also,
if they had a healthy defense, they would definitively be the favorite to win the Super Bowl.
And they got a coach that I think you can trust, and that's the part that's a part of, hey, who's going to lose a game that they're not supposed to. That comes down in large part to, hey, what's the coaching situation on these sidelines? And I think if you got a coach like Shanahan, you can say, I trust that coach with everything that I have. I think if you've got a Sean Payton on the sideline, somebody who's had success in the playoffs and had a Super Bowl as well, I think you say, I can trust that on the sideline for the Denver Broncos. So there are a couple of coaches who've been here before. Mike Vrabel has some playoff success. Hadn't gotten to a Super Bowl, but he's been in the playoffs. I can trust that. Some of these first-year guys, their seasons are great. Don't get me wrong. It's great what's going on in Seattle. It's great what's going on in Chicago. It's great what's going on in Jacksonville. I didn't think that would happen at all. Didn't think that would happen at all. But those are first-time head coaches, first-year head coaches where they are. I'm not sure how much I can trust them, to your point, Jessica, to not lose the game, to lose the game they're not supposed to, right? Like, I don't know if I trust them that much. And then you got whatever's popping off in L.A. with the Chargers, where it's like, okay, they're absolutely going to lose something they're not supposed to.
That's the Chargers.
Yeah.
That's the feel.
Yeah.
And until they prove otherwise, they will forever be the Chargering Chargers. You talked about, a player going down and everything crumbling. Around the NBA last night, the biggest storyline is that Nikola Jokic went down with a knee injury. And we still don't know a whole lot, but it happened in the first half against the Heat, right before halftime, where Spencer Jones, it looked like, stepped on his foot, and then his knee buckled in. And he was originally designated as questionable to return. He gets ruled out. They're hoping to avoid the worst. I mean, obviously, the worst case in this scenario is always ACL, season ending. You don't want that. Here's the moment where it happened. Seeing Jokic writhing on the ground in pain, discomfort, we don't see that. Like, he doesn't get hurt. We have not watched Jokic go through many injuries at all. And it was just a really jarring, unique viewing experience, and I just hope he's okay. Like, the NBA is more fun when Jokic is all right and playing and putting up stupid video game numbers on a Christmas day. I mean, even last night, like, he had 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists in 19 minutes in the first half before he got hurt. The Nuggets need him. Like, if Jokic is out, that would be it for Denver.
He had that stat line before halftime. He had, 19, 8, and 5?
Yeah.
Before halftime. He's averaging almost 30, 15, and 11. That's, come
insane.
On, man. The league is more fun when you get to see somebody special play, and Jokic is special. He's doing things that, forget his position, he's doing things that we've just never seen at this type of a level. Position, regardless of nationality, he is the best basketball player on the planet. I do believe he made another one of those crazy, insane passes last night where he's just behind the back, bounce pass to a cutter going downhill towards the rim. He's so much fun to watch. He does things that are incredible. You talked about it yesterday. The best game on Christmas to you was that Nuggets and Timberwolves game, because Jokic in that overtime period was incredible. 55, 15, 15, something like that. In
56, 16, 15?
Come on, man.
I just want to be specific.
What are we talking about here? We don't make
counting every point.
We don't make dudes who go for 50 plus triple doubles, and certainly not 50, 15, 15.
Certainly not.
Like that's insane. So I hope he's okay. I saw it when it happened, and thought, all right, that's not good, but it didn't look like it had popped all the way back. Mm-hmm. Like when it happened to Patrick Mahomes, you saw the knee move.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it did that for Jokic. Now, that might be because Jokic is a significantly bigger man than what Patrick Mahomes is, but I'm hopeful that it's because it's not going to be anything like an MCL, ACL type situation. Maybe a slight sprain. He rests for a couple of weeks and then come
bruise.
back. Maybe a bruise.
One of those bone bruises.
And he come back. And this Nuggets team.
They're down 4 starters now.
Gordon, Jokic, Cam, and Brown.
Yeah.
Like, that's hard. Injuries
and
hit
I think
everybody.
Jamal's been injury-ish.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So they are what, third right now?
Again, it shows how quickly something can change.
Are they third in the West? If he misses a month, that's
that's the thing. I mean, it's so
15-ish games.
The Rockets and the Lakers are both a game behind the Nuggets. So Nuggets in third, Rockets, Lakers 4-5, Timberwolves 2.5 games behind. Or no, 1.5 games behind the Nuggets. So, I mean, that's really crumbled. You put the Suns in there, too. All of those teams are within 3 games of one another.
Jokic misses a month, we'll say. Just reckless, real reckless, saying it's an injury, it's going to take some time, but not the entire season. He misses a month. They could mess around and find themselves battling for a play-in type situation. Yeah. And in the Western Conference, like once you get down there into that 9-10 range, it is hard for you to make up ground because everybody else is winning games also. They're not losing games. So wish him the best. Hope he's good to go.
When do the Grizzlies play the Nuggets? I will look that up as we take a break because Mike Wallace is waiting to join. We'll get his thoughts on the Jokic potential injury. It is an injury no matter what, but seeing how long he will be out is the question. And we'll talk to Mike about Grizzlies Sixers tonight here at FedEx Forum. Again, get your lunchbox. It's my favorite giveaway of the year. I had to make sure
Can
that
we see the back of it?
Yeah.
Or the front of it? I don't know which one is the back or the front.
Yeah.
What's on the sides?
The both logos.
Both
So the Jaren on this one and the Jaw on this one. I love this.
Can you open it? What's
Sure,
inside?
I
didn't open mine. Oh, it's
a lunchbox.
It's just a regular one. Okay, I didn't know if they had cool little
You
designs.
thought it was going to come with a sandwich? You thought it was going to come with a Lunchable?
Well.
You thought it was going to come with bagel bites?
It is a lunchbox. Bagel bites? You will be getting bagel bites for lunch?
No, I never had. Wishful thinking.
All right.
Coolest thing I ever had for lunch was Campbell's soup in like a thermostat.
A thermostat?
Yes, and when you brought a thermostat, it was so cool.
A thermos? A thermostat is what you use to
control. My bad. God. Make this year end. Mike Wallace on the other side with my thermostat. Not a thermostat.
A thermostat.
Oh
I was like, whoa, she had a whole thermostat for lunch. That's incredible.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
The world needs B2K.
B2K's breakup was a huge shock to their fans.
Boys for Life Tour. Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all new tour.
You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Now that's the new edition way.
But I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike? 2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Welcome back as we await Mike Wallace, who should join the show shortly. CJ's chat question of the day: which of these events will you remember the most from 2025? With 33% of the vote, 6-7. Do you think 6-7 will, like, forever be remembered? Will we be telling our grandchildren about 6-7?
It depends. Is 69 still remembered?
Yeah, but that's different.
All right.
That has forever cultural relevance.
Is that motion right there always remembered?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, it's always going to be remembered. It is. Because it's just this generation's version of that.
I say it more than I care to admit, unfortunately, in this world. The other options were the Coldplay concert scandal, Taylor Swift's engagement, and La Boo Boos.
But I mean, the year was full of memorable
It was. I cannot believe this was the Taylor Swift engagement year.
I can.
It feels like 3 years ago.
I can because we milked that.
Oh, yeah,
got all the social clips, views, and everything we could. It carried the show.
We still get comments of people who think it's a new video. They're like, you stupid fools. Bad Bunny is the halftime show performer. Not the engagement piece of it, but the Taylor Swift perhaps performing at the Super Bowl. It was a whole thing.
It was a whole storyline. It was a whole major sports storyline of the year.
The Super Bowl is going to be played in San Francisco. Sourdough Sam, she mentioned sourdough. She loves Easter eggs, blah, 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 blah. She's going to perform at the Super Bowl. And then she wasn't. And now it's Bad Bunny. And now I have some people who are like, who is this Taylor Swift freak who won't give up that Taylor Swift is not perform? I'm like, this was months ago.
Nobody's looking
Media
at that.
literacy.
No, media literacy. We don't have regular literacy in here.
I think we'll remember the Coldplay couple too.
That was the one I voted for.
I think we'll remember the Coldplay couple.
That's the one that will stick with me forever.
She just did I didn't read it, but gave an interview with someone where she talked about like the meanness of the internet, and she actually wasn't married.
Okay.
I don't know. It became a whole thing. I was like, lady, you left the news months ago. I don't need to know about this anymore. The Blue Origin, I was telling you before the show, that Blue Origin flight was this year when Katy Perry and others went to space. And the one scientist who was on that flight had a piece yesterday about how horrible the media exposure was and the stuff that was said about her online, and all of her life's work had led to one of the most humiliating moments of her life. And I was like, if you hadn't mentioned it again, I really wouldn't have thought about it.
But
I do appreciate that she was talking about it from the standpoint of, like, I have worked for this my whole life, and I became a meme.
Well, that's Listen, next time you go to space, go without Katy Perry and Gayle King. and
the
the
Bezos
billionaire
lady.
and who continues to give money to HBCU so she can do
No. Mackenzie Scott went to space. No, Mackenzie Scott wasn't on the Blue Origin.
Okay.
It's the other one.
All right, then
I
never
think.
mind. Mackenzie Scott is good with me. She's
The,
Dolly Parton territory for me, but
yeah,
like
she does keep giving to HBCUs.
so much money.
Billionaires doing good things.
Gosh,
Anyway,
that was wild. Anything else stand out?
Labubu's kind of became
They did.
too big,
They did.
but I like them. They're so cute. I kind of want one.
I'm surprised you don't have one, Beanie Baby collector.
I know. I don't waste money on that kind of stuff anymore, though.
But you can get
Only in
somebody
the
else to
olden
waste
days.
money on it for you.
I'm just waiting for the day where my Princess Diana Bear supports my retirement, but that's all right. We do get Grizzlies Sixers tonight, not 6-7, but Sixers here at FedEx Forum. The Sixers come into tonight looking at the Eastern Conference standings at 16-14. They are in 7th in the East, and they have gone 5-5 in their last 10 games. Joel Embiid, questionable for tonight's matchup. And the hot take, the Memphis Grizzlies might want Joel Embiid to play in tonight's matchup because the Sixers have, I wouldn't say struggled with Joel Embiid. It just makes things more difficult for Tyrese Maxey. I think the offense works better without Embiid in the picture for Philadelphia this year, and it could give the Grizzlies some advantages there. I am excited to see VJ Edgecombe play for the first time. Obviously, Tyrese Maxey is one of the most fun players in the NBA, but for the Grizzlies, it's an opportunity to try to go out and get a win over an above 500 team, and I know in the quest to get to 500 themselves, it's been lost a bit, or we haven't talked as much about the Grizzlies' record against winning basketball teams this season. And the Grizzlies finally got that win a couple weeks ago now, or a week-ish ago, against the Timberwolves. And that felt like a big monumental moment where they're finally able to beat a team that has a winning record. But they could use another one. And 6 of their next games are against teams with winning records. So while they have been able to stack some wins against lesser teams in the NBA this season, I know you can't say definitively stack those wins because of what transpired against the Wizards and also the one loss that they took to the Jazz. But this is an opportunity to show the growth and to show this thing starting to click and to see what the offense looks like with Ja Morant continued to be infused in it. I would assume that he would still be on some semblance of a minutes restriction. Until I see Ja Morant not on a minutes restriction, I'm going to assume that Ja Morant is on a minutes restriction. And I look forward to the day where that's not the case. But how those different substitution patterns are used, how Ja continues to make this offense hum differently in transition, in the half court, but just segue in with a group that was really finding some connectivity. The ball was moving well in his absence because they didn't have a true point guard. So now you do have a true point guard, and how do you continue to make everybody grow in chemistry and comfortability? The Jaren piece serves into that as well. I look forward to see how this team closes out 2025, and really, like, this will set the tone going into 2026, and I don't want to put too much into a Grizzlies-Sixers game on December 30th, but it will give me a better idea of where they are right now. Are they really a team that is? They are really a team that lost to the Wizards twice. But does that define them, or can they bounce back and get a win over a team with a winning record?
This is a good game to test like what they are defensively on the perimeter. We talked about it some yesterday, and to your earlier point about maybe the Grizzlies not wanting to play Joel Embiid, the 76ers have done a really good job of transitioning on the fly from Embiid to a group of really fun, exciting, athletic perimeter players who can put the ball in the bucket. Mm-hmm. And so you've got Jalen Wells, great. You got Cedric Coward, tremendous. Go out there and defend at a high level. But when they step off of the court, all right, there's a chance for that. There's a chance that one of VJ Edgecombe or Maxey is being held by somebody not named Wells or Coward. Let's see what that looks like. Let's see how far away from good you are, and if you are actually good at being able to defend and keep dudes in front of you that play like this, because the teams in the NBA have at least one guy who can put the ball on the floor and go by you. The 76ers have a couple who can do it at a elite level. Let's see what this perimeter defense looks like for the Grizzlies. The Pit was this year?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
And guess what? We get the Pit again next year. That's how TV should work.
Oh,
Bring it back.
Stop it.
Bring it back immediately.
You don't want to wait a decade for the next season?
No.
Okay.
They're saying I'm going to have to wait 2 more years for Pluribus season 2. I'm going to forget about
You're going to have to
Pluribus.
wait 2 years? And isn't that a complicated show?
Yes.
You can't wait 2
What's
years
the
on a
Hive?
complicated show.
Who's Zoja? I don't remember.
Dochi was
like 2024 into
Dochi got
2025.
awards and stuff this year, right?
Yeah, her work
Okay.
was recognized in
this year.
2025.
Okay, I get
That's
what you're
always a weird, because like I'll remember One Battle After Another and Sinners will be movies of 2025.
I told you I
but they
got
would
that
be
for Christmas.
recognized. Yeah, real DVD.
Yeah, real DVD. But
exciting
so yeah,
stuff.
Sinners.
I went to a bookstore where they had real DVDs to purchase, and I thought to myself, if I had a kid, I'd give them. I was like, I'd give them $15 to go in and buy a DVD at the bookstore. And then I looked at the price of the DVDs, and they're like $30. Why would I spend $30 on a DVD? Gosh. I could find it to stream. I could find it on TikTok. Don't do that. No, I wanted to find the stat because I was surprised when I saw it. The Sixers, I said they've gone 5-5 in their last 10. They've lost 3 in a row. And they've had Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, and Joel Embiid in the lineup for their games against the Bulls and the Nets last week. But they are now 0-4 when all 3 of them have been available. And, you know, it's something the Grizzlies have had to kind of balance with, too, and the Grizzlies have never been fully healthy this season, so that's a moot point. But just the notion of when you're not getting those reps consistently with players who change how the inner workings of a team goes, sometimes it takes some time to get things flowing. The Sixers have outscored their opponents by 7 points per 100 possessions in those threes, 81 minutes on the floor together, but they've been outscored by 15 per 100 possessions in 121 minutes with at least one of the 3 on the bench over those 4 games. It's been an interesting situation in Philly, and Embiid hasn't played in more than 3 straight games. He missed the game against the Thunder on Sunday, and the Sixers were in that game against the Thunder on Sunday, if I remember correctly. But it will be a good test for the Grizzlies, a good measuring stick. We've had a lot of those this year, and it would always feel good to get a home win on the way out. The holiday crowd continues to be strong. The crowd for the game the other night here on Friday against the Bucks was awesome. And the 3 crowds that we've had since we kind of entered Christmas phase, holiday phase in Memphis or in the world has been really nice to see. So I will be there tonight. We will have the warm-up show on Grind City Media at 6. Yes, CJ?
Turn the microphone on, CJ. Is there something you most want to see tonight or most looking forward to seeing tonight?
I want to see John Jaren operate in a way that I saw against the Bucks.
Okay.
The Bucks without Giannis. But just where if you have those 2 players on the court, you have a chance every night against whoever. Not against the Wizards. Clearly not against the Wizards.
They had a chance against the Wizards. What are you talking about? They had a chance against the Wizards.
And they threw it away, literally threw it away. Or didn't rebound it away.
They had a chance.
But you look, okay, Sixers tonight, then you get 2 against the Lakers to start the year. They're not going to Los Angeles for New Year's Eve, are they? It's on the 2nd. They won't travel till the 1st. 2nd and 4th in LA. Then they play the Spurs.
What if that's the carrot? Like, hey guys, we go out here and get this win. We'll go to LA New Year's Eve. Let's go. Let's do it.
You get 2 cracks at the Lakers. Spurs on the 6th, Suns on the 7th, and then the Thunder again on the 9th. So that is 6 games. Yes. Why are you squinting?
Was Pope Leo this year? Was the American Pope this year also?
Was he named this year?
Was he named? I think it was either this year or last year.
This year.
It was this year. Got an American at the Vatican.
That was a great day on social media.
Yes.
The Pope! Even visiting the Vatican this year, I felt like the most obnoxious American because I played right into it. Every corner, Chris and I'd be like, got an American Pope in there. That's our people.
You went to the Vatican this year?
I went to the Vatican this year.
When?
When we went to Italy for the wedding.
Oh, I forgot.
We made our little pit stop in Rome.
You were gone for weeks.
Weeks? It was 10 days.
That's weeks.
But then it segged right into Summer League. I went straight to Summer League in Salt Lake City, so it felt like forever.
This wasn't the road trip, was it?
Wait, that didn't go into Summer League. Never mind. I'm mixing up my metaphors.
Okay.
This years are hard, CJ, to keep track of, aren't they?
I think so. I think everything.
I couldn't even remember who I saw at Riverbeat this year. Missy Elliott.
Oh,
The Killers.
Super Duper Fly.
Ludacris.
Move, get out the way. What's a Killer song?
Get out of the way. Mr. Brightside.
Okay, all right.
Now
There
this
we go.
guy again and he's doing just fine. Na, 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 na. Did you like that thing I sent you about song lyrics? Because I really
did.
felt like it
I did.
accurately.
I appreciate it. It is
depicted
you.
me.
It is you too.
I sent CJ a graphic. I get too many messages. I can't find it. Too many people. Jokic fans mad at me. I have
Jokic fans
Taylor
are mad
Swift
at
fans
you?
mad at me.
What are they mad at you for?
The people in Serbia are mad at me because I said people who look like Nikola Jokic don't make passes like these. And I meant it from the standpoint of men that big don't make passes like Jokic makes. And they took it as me saying that like white men can't make passes like that. And I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm in the clear. I got another one. Yes, we were here. They're really consistent on it. Anyway, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, one of the big stories in sports this week, Baylor is adding a player who was drafted into the NBA. He was drafted, never played in the NBA. He did play overseas, played in EuroLeague, but he is now on Baylor, and that has created quite the response from coaches across the sport, many of which are critical of this, some of which say, hey, you got to do what you got to do in this wild, wild west of college sports. We'll talk about that on the other side.
It's going to be food.
Oh, Jared!
Support your Grizzlies by voting for them to the 2026 All-Star Game.
Oh, Edie with the big swat on the deck, floats it up, off the glass and in. Cedric Power, yes sir!
Vote now by going to grizzlies.com/all-star.
The only thing better than Saturday Night Hoops is when it comes with an exclusive Grizz hoodie. Every Saturday this season, $60 gets you a Grizzlies ticket and a limited edition Grizzlies hoodie. 4 different hoodie designs dropping across 4 Saturday games. Not sold anywhere else. Don't miss your shot to collect all 4 designs. Grab your tickets and gear up now at grizzlies.com/Saturday.
Field goal percentage up. 3-point field goal percentage up. Points up. Rebounds up. How would you describe your second season so far?
I feel like in my head, my standard's a little higher than that. I feel like my percentage should be a lot more up. 3-point percentage a lot more up. And but I'll take it. You see the positives and things.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Own the 2025-26 Grizzlies season with the 10-game Flex Pack, the ultimate way to catch all the action on your terms. Choose your favorite matchups from intense rivalries to weekend thrillers and customize your pack to fit your schedule. With 10 games to pick, you'll never miss the moments that matter most. Visit grizzlies.com/packs today to build your perfect ticket pack and cheer on the Grizzlies your way. It's your team, your season, and your schedule. So don't miss out.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Don't miss the Grind City Media Holiday Special. Kick off your celebrations with us at 9 a.m. on New Year's Eve. Spend your morning with some of your favorite Grind City Media personalities as they dive into all things Grizzlies, the NBA, football, and more. You can watch it all on YouTube or the Grind City Media app starting at 9 a.m. We will be back tomorrow. Me, CJ, Devin in the first segment. Roser, Lang in the second segment. One last show of 2025, and hopefully we're talking about a Grizzlies win over the Sixers. We got a win on the last holiday special. It can't be a holiday special if you're talking about a Grizzlies loss, so pressure's on, Grizzlies team.
Did you ever watch K-Pop Demon Hunters?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was this year, too.
That was this year.
That
was from a movie standpoint, popular movie. I don't know if it'll be the most awarded movie. I don't know if it's the most critically acclaimed movie.
It would win Best Animated Picture.
But that's we were doing Halloween.
Speaking of Best Animated Pictures.
Speaking of it.
I'm pretty sure, did you tell me to watch Klaus Once Upon a Time?
Yes. Incredible.
We finally watched Klaus.
Incredible. 5 years too late, but
5
incredible.
years too late is right.
It would be an instant Christmas classic.
It's so good.
Incredible
movie. We spend so much time talking. There's no cultural Christmas movie anymore that everybody should watch that's come out in the last. No, everybody should watch Klaus every year.
Klaus,
it's so good.
Jingle Jangle as well.
Jingle Jangle is great. I love Jingle Jangle, but I think Klaus is like a universally.
Yes.
Could be a universally beloved movie if enough people watched it.
I think enough people have. I think you guys are just late.
It made me believe in Netflix.
You should
like
believe
from an
in
animation
Netflix.
studio standpoint.
You
I was
should.
like, why are you not making more better animation movies? It was so beautiful.
It was awesome.
It should have won Best Animated Picture that year. It lost to Toy Story 4.
No, it shouldn't have won Best
I
Animated
think
Picture
it's better
that
than
year.
Toy Story 4.
I disagree.
Well, that's your prerogative.
Incredible movies. Don't want to compare them, but if we have to compare them,
I am trash.
I trembled with sorrow at the end of Toy Story 4.
I cried pretty hard at the end of Klaus. Like, we just turned it on casually. We're like, let's have a Christmas movie on in the background. Boop, boop, boop. What should we watch? Oh, I think CJ told me to watch Klaus back in the day. Here, it pops up on Netflix. Let's just give it a watch. We watched the first 30 minutes while we were doing something, left, went and did something else, came back. Oh, let's just sit and watch the rest of Klaus. Chris, I look over. Glistening eyes. I was like, oh my God.
Incredible movie.
It was so clever. I love a clever holiday movie. Anyway, that was good stuff. We didn't really get to the story yesterday, but on Christmas Eve, Baylor announced the signing of James Nagy, who is a 7-foot center who has played in the EuroLeague for the last 4 seasons and notably was drafted in the NBA draft in 2023. He hasn't had a contract with an NBA team. He hasn't played with an NBA team, but he was drafted. And he is eligible to play at Baylor immediately. And we have seen players be added to teams in the middle of seasons, but we have never seen this before where a previously drafted player is going to be joining a team mid-season. And a lot of outcry from coaches, from some of the biggest voices in college basketball, including John Calipari, who had some words last night. He had a 7-minute rant about the current state of college athletics. Field of 68 narrowed it down to a minute of him specifically talking about the James Nagy piece of this and a player who had been drafted. So this is John Calipari last night on the latest happenings in the college basketball world.
Well, look, I don't blame coaches. You know, I've got friends that are playing with 27-year-olds and they feel bad. I said, don't feel bad. We don't have any rules. Why should you feel bad? But let me give you this. Real simple. The rules bees the rules. So if you put your name in the draft, I don't care if you're from Russia and you stay in the draft, you can't play college basketball. Well, that's only for American kids. What? If your name is in that draft and you got drafted, you can't play cup because that's our rule. Yeah, but that's only for American kids. Okay, now, here's the next lawsuit. Well, we don't have a say over European players. You do if they're playing in college basketball. So that means you don't have a say over high school kids. So whatever a high school kid does before he comes here, don't you do one thing because there's a suit. Because what you're saying is, if he's in Europe, we don't have the same rules. What?
The rules are the rules.
We talked about it some on Gary Parrish's show yesterday, Lang and I did, and didn't get to this part of the thought.
Yeah.
But he's right. So that means that in a situation where you got a high school player who, I don't know, does something like transfers to a school completely out of the city to play for a well-known coach, somebody he's got a previous relationship with, maybe he's staying the night at that coach's house as well. And by night, I mean maybe the season at that coach's residence. He comes into college, and there should be no punishment there at all. Right? Like that means that somebody, I can't think of a player where that's happened.
Certainly not.
Not here.
But in this
hypothetically speaking,
in some Netflix animated movie, they definitely had this
maybe
player.
Innsworth, the Brentwood Academy, somewhere up there.
I think he speaks multiple languages. Let's make him a real well-rounded student athlete.
He ends up transferring to, I don't think they're student athletes in high school. They're just students, but whatever.
Sure.
He ends up transferring, I don't know, let's pick a random high school in Memphis. Got one in mind?
Let's pick a direction.
East. Sure.
That sounds good. Let's give him a mascot. Let's give him a mascot.
Go ahead. But you got one?
Not a Bronco, but a Mustang?
East Mustangs.
East Mustangs. Okay.
That player comes in and transfers there, plays a year there. He shouldn't be punished if once he goes to a college, give me a college. The one that, start with the mascot first. Like Mustang.
Mustang.
There are a bunch of.
I like. I think the Frosted Flakes Bowl is tonight, so how about Tigers?
Tigers, great.
I don't think it's called the Frosted Flakes Bowl.
It's the Tony the Tiger Bowl.
I think it is the Tony
But you're laughing like Frosted Flakes Bowl is
out of this world.
Is out of this world. We got a Pop-Tarts Bowl for crying out loud.
Tonight.
But seriously though,
how
dare you guys at the NCAA come down hard on James Wiseman and Penny Hardaway in the Memphis Tigers program and then turn around and let this start flying?
Well, and I remember at the time, like when they played James for that game and ultimately put themselves in the position to be punished by the NCAA further, the exact reasoning was the rules are the rules. You don't have to agree with the rules. You can be skeptical of the rules. You can be, upset about the rules. But the rules are the rules. And Memphis broke the rules. And it's like, what rules? What convoluted, fake system of rules are we all abiding for? And listen, looking at this, you can't have a problem with it because all Scott Drew and Baylor did was find a loophole and utilize it. And if the NCAA clears James Najee, they clear James Najee. And it's as simple as that. And he can join the team and he can play for the team. And, I saw I think it was in the CBS Sports write-up of it, like there was an anonymous Big Ten coach who essentially said just that. Like, if a team is creative enough to find a solution that fits into this narrow interpretation of the rules, like the rest of us are all trying to do every day, good for them. We can't fault them for doing that. But then you also have the words that we just heard from Calipari. Tom Izzo spoke on it yesterday too, saying, we're taking guys that were drafted in the NBA. I said it to you a month and a half ago. Come on, Magic Johnson. Come on, Gary Harris. Let's go, baby. Let's do it. Why not? I mean, if that's what we're going to do, shame on the NCAA, shame on the coaches too, but shame on the NCAA because coaches are going to do what they got to do, but the NCAA is the one. Those people on those committees that are making those decisions that allow something so ridiculous and not think of the kid.
Like, I don't know. How much did he play? Did he play? Because it's one thing to get drafted. It's another thing because my understanding was he was on G League roster.
Yeah.
And so if you're on a G League roster and you're practicing with
He
the
never
G
signed.
League,
When you're on a G League roster does not mean that you ever signed an NBA contract.
but G League is professional. Doesn't have to
Right.
be.
But I know, again, we're looking at loopholes.
Okay.
We're looking at minor interpretations of a rule, or narrow interpretations of a rule, I should say.
So
and then he played overseas. And they're saying in the past, if you've played overseas professionally, you could, I think of right here, Santi Aldama played professionally in Spain before playing college basketball in the States. So
this is all very, very, very confusing.
you want to know who can help us figure it out?
Who?
Someone who used to work for the boogeyman.
Oh.
The NCAA.
Why you whisper it like that?
It feels like it should be cloaked at this point.
If it's cloaked, that gives it an aura of like menace. That the
No,
NCAA,
at this point, it's an aura of incompetency.
Just sheer incompetency. They need clown shoes
Maybe
and a
not
clown
incompetency,
nose.
just
Goofiness.
yeah,
Sheer goofiness.
unnecessary.
Unnecessarily so.
End of times, and we'll see what he has to
End
say.
of times.
My dad's joining the show. My dad's joining the show. I'll tell you about the time my dad showed up in one of my college classes. That was fun.
Unexpected?
Not unexpected, but nobody knew that it was my dad, and I was trying to get under the radar, and then, I'll tell you the story. It's a great story. My dad, former college conference commissioner of the MAC, the WAC, the Sun Belt. He was on the NCAA basketball committee once upon a time. He worked for the NCAA in compliance back in the 80s. We'll get his takes on all the things happening around the world of college sports after a quick break.
If your cousin has a cousin, is that your cousin? That's not your cousin.
No, that's too far.
Yeah, no.
I don't claim cousins like that.
That person isn't my relative.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of over $550,000 in free play and a brand new Lincoln. Here Comes Santa takes flight on Saturday, November 1st, when you can begin earning entries. And don't forget the grand finale drawings on Saturday, November 29th and Saturday, December 27th to win a share of over $40,000 in free play or a brand new Lincoln. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Memphis. Monday Night Raw returns with non-stop action, unmatched energy, and the superstars you love.
We don't get mad, we get even. We don't go home till we beat them. This is our time, we ain't leaving. Give me the crown undefeated.
Witness the moments you'll never forget. Monday Night Raw, Memphis. Monday, February 16th. Tickets and ringsider packages on sale next Friday.
Grizz Nation, Friday night just got a whole lot better. Introducing Buckets and Brews, the ultimate way to tip off your weekend. Every Friday this season, grab a terrace level ticket to the Grizz Game and 2 12-ounce Miller Lights for just $55. Get great seats, cold brews, and Grizzlies basketball. It's everything you need to start your weekend off right. So get the deal that's too cold to hold. Go to grizzlies.com/Friday to lock in your tickets today.
Welcome back on this final normal show of 2025. We'll be back tomorrow with the Grind City Media Holiday Special, but the last Jessica Benson show with CJ Hurt, directed by other Jacob of 2025. We have a special guest in the building. He goes by the name of Karl, last name Benson. Some call him the COMMISH. He is my dad. Hi, Karl.
Good morning, my daughter.
Good morning. He has his Boise State cup. It has the blue
All right.
field. He comes prepared. I've got the Denver Broncos. We're just broncoing out as a family. Sorry, CJ, we didn't bring you anything to match. I was talking before the break about when my dad came to my class in college. I was a freshman at USC, and at the time you were commissioner of the WAC still. No, you wouldn't have gone to the Sun
yes,
Belt
that's
yet.
probably
You were
true.
still commissioner of the WAC. And we had a very traumatic moving in day at USC because what happened on our way to the University of Southern California as you drove me from Denver to LA, a couple schools decided to leave.
Couple of defections, yes.
Defections is the
Fresno
word.
State and University of Nevada pulled the rug right out from under you.
That was a fun move-in experience as it was a million jillion degrees. But I was in a class my second semester, and it was a sports. I don't know what the name of the class was, but it was taught by Professor Jeff Fellenser, one of those classes that anybody who was interested in sports was always going to take. And at some point, Professor Fellenser found out that my dad was the commissioner of the WAC, and it was a guest kind of class. So every class had a guest, and he asked if it would be okay if he asked you to come and be in it. And I said, yeah, absolutely. Just don't make a big deal out of it. Don't say anything. Fine, whatever. So the class comes. I'm sitting with my friends. I don't tell anybody that that's my dad speaking in the class. And in the middle, the professor goes, and your daughter, Jessie, and at this point, I'm Jessica at this point. I am Jessica at USC. I did an identity switcheroo. He goes, your daughter, Jessica, or Jessie is out there in the class. Jessie, raise your hand. And I was like, well, there goes my spot. There goes my cover. It's all over. And now, how the world all comes together because you get to be on the show this morning. We thought it was a perfect time. You're in town, so that's a perfect time. But the conversations around the college football playoff and around what we were just discussing in the last segment of and player who at one point was drafted into the NBA, never played in the NBA, but who now is able to play in college basketball. I'll start with a question that you asked me to ask you that I was already planning to ask you, but you said, what is the question that you get asked the most as someone who has now been out of the game for a handful of years, but you've seen the landscape change so much? What are you asked the most about college sports right now?
The last 30 days, it's whether or not the Group of Five deserves an automatic berth in the CFP. But prior to that, whether it's NIL or transfers, and now with the Najee question, there's a lot of kind of unknown out there and misinformation to begin with on it. I heard the Calipari quotes. It's not the first time that that a European or an international player has come back to the U.S. and played some sport, whether it's tennis or golf. The NCAA hockey rules have just changed recently to allow Canadian junior league players that before were, quote, semi-pros or playing professional to come back. So this may be the first high-profile men's basketball player, but it's probably not going to be the last. And it's not necessarily a new rule or a new interpretation.
Do you think it more just represents this feeling of instability when it comes to the NCAA, their governance, what are rules, where teams and universities, which are acting as organizations to a certain degree, are able to bend things because there's not really a clear cut. I mean, at one point you worked in compliance. Like that was your first job in the NCAA. And I'm curious what a job in compliance looks like today versus what it would have been for you in the 80s.
Well, I mean, it's interpretations, and people forget that the NCAA, every rule in the NCAA rule book was probably developed because some coach tried to circumvent whatever the existing rule, and they changed it to make sure that it could no longer be manipulated. And I think that that's just been kind of inherent of NCAA rules. But every NCAA rule is not, made by NCAA staff or NCAA President Charlie Baker. It's made by committees, and now finally, I just heard this week about committees. People are talking about committees. I think it was Izzo talking about all these committees. Yeah, there have been committees for a long time that have made these rules, and there have been coaches on some of those committees who have helped, make some of those rules. But the idea that every rule now is challenged or is challengeable, and the transfers is kind of next in line from the NIL to just the house settlement. The transfers, And the eligibility that, whether it's Pavia or somebody else that's trying to get an extra year of eligibility, those are all now being challenged. And this supposed case with the European NBA or the European player is going to fuel those eligibility cases and say, why not?
If he can come back and make money, why, and it all comes down to that, right? Like, from a legal standpoint, at this point, you cannot step in the way of somebody taking their rightful legal path towards making money. But you're also not an employee, so
now that making money is permissible.
Sure.
Now that making money on your name, image, likeness is permissible, the restrictions and the word restriction just automatically indicates antitrust. That if I restrict you from getting a job someplace else, you're going to challenge that restriction. And that's the NCAA for 50 plus years has tried to maintain this amateur status, and the NIL case just blew the amateur status out, and now they're trying to at least manage it in terms of some restrictions. But you mentioned my time at the NCAA. It reminded me that when I first went to work for the NCAA, the first thing I had to buy was a trench coat.
No.
Honest to God, everybody
what?
Everybody wore these double-breasted trench coats, and you actually looked like some FBI investigator coming. We'd
Did
walk
you wear a
out.
hat?
No, just the trench coat.
That's crazy.
Just the trench coat. There's pictures of staff standing on the steps of the NCAA, with the trench coats on.
Wow.
Commish, you bring up the NIL case. And the NCAA fought that fight for as long as they could and as hard as they could. But once they lost it, it did not seem like they were prepared to sort of like start implementing the rules and regulations necessary to keep it from becoming what it is now. Do you have any idea what ended up happening, why they were so unprepared to handle everything that's transpired post NIL case on?
I don't think it was a matter, CJ, of not being prepared. They had 18 months to put in place guardrails. And back when they were trying to develop rules, everybody talked about the guardrails that needed to be in place. And there were plenty of committees that tried to establish rules. And they couldn't agree on a set of rules to manage the NIL. And as a result, I think they developed 3 basic rules that did go into place in the summer of 2022. 1, you couldn't use it as an inducement. 2, you couldn't use it for recruiting purposes. And 3, the university couldn't be part of the NIL.
Right.
And those all of a sudden got struck down, and there were 32 different state laws that were developed during that time that the NCAA became powerless, absolutely powerless, and to some extent, paralyzed at the same time. And it became a very ineffective organization trying to govern now has become a very, very complicated bazillion-dollar, industry.
I guess that's where I get confused at, right? Like, this is supposed to be the NCAA's thing. How did they become powerless? Like that's where I get lost. Like, hey, you're supposed to be the regulator. You're supposed to be the one in charge of everything to do with college sports. Where did it go wrong for you? How? Because it feels like, outside looking in, it feels like they don't have the power. It feels like the power resides in the power conferences, specifically the Big Ten and the SEC. Am I wrong to feel that way?
They lost their ability or the effectiveness to govern and to govern rules and to enforce rules. The enforcement piece has been lost, and plaintiffs' lawyers have become the outside entity that is now challenging, the NCAA, whether it was the NIL case or all these house cases and now all the transfer cases. Once they recognized that the NCAA was easy pickings in terms of legal challenges, and the judges around the country, from Judge Wilkin and that kind of set the stage with the NIL, district court judges are ruling in favor of the underrepresented, which is the 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And the plaintiffs' lawyers are making
putting in a lot of work for the multi-gajillion, bajillion dollar industry.
And they're making, and those plaintiffs' lawyers have made a lot of money out of, the House settlement, if you recall, was a $2.5 billion settlement, and the lawyers got $500 million of it. So there was a lot of money at stake in terms of these plaintiffs' lawyers.
If you were the czar, you're retired, you're living your best life, you're on the golf course. But if you were the czar of college football, I think that's part of the problem too, is college football feels so separate from everything else, even though the NCAA is still the overarching governing body, but then you have FBS football and you have FCS football. But if you were to wave a magic wand and say, this is the best thing that can happen that would allow the proper steps to be taken to start finding a future solution, what would the first step be?
I retired in 2019, and kind of leading up to that, I had about a year of lame duck, and I got asked that question about, where is college sports, where's college football going to be 5 years from 2019? And things had started changing. The House, the NIL judgment hadn't really occurred, but it was on. People were anticipating it, and I and others said that there needs to be a separate football entity under the auspices of collegiate sports, and not necessarily the NCAA. And today, I think that is still an answer to your question as to what can be done to bring some sense of governance and continuity. And back then, and whether it was 48 teams or 64 teams or 80 teams, needed to be taken out of the NCAA, admit that they're, that it's business, that it's an entity, that it's a industry, and conduct football in a way that didn't impact the rest of all those other sports. Every one of these cross-country conference realignments has been done for football purposes.
Right.
And in the meantime, whether it's the Pac-12 or the old Big 12 or the ACC or the Big East, whatever, the changes that have been made to those conferences for all their other 25 sports besides football really has been a disruptor for college sports. I think college sports can still, get back to its roots if they take football out of it. Now, the next question is, well, how are you going to start treating basketball if basketball is that same type of value in the marketplace? But I'd like to at least see him try to fix the rest. As long as there isn't football there, football still can generate all the money for University X, Y, or Z. The big question is, who's in that elite group?
Yeah, CJ and I go through
and
that exercise
that
often.
exercise is a difficult one, because there are many out there, including my alma mater, who believes that they deserve to be in that elite group. Well, and the University of Memphis.
I was going to say, we're here in Memphis,
deserves to be in that group, and they would be two universities that that would be. I got a little note here that's kind of an interesting one, that since 2010, there have been 6 or 7 group of 5 teams that have made the move to a Power 4. Utah, BYU, TCU, SMU, Houston, Cincinnati. There might be one more in there that have made the move. And they've gotten into that elite group. And then the ones that are still trying, whether it's Memphis or South Florida or Tulane or Boise State or San Diego State, or, for Colorado State for that matter, the teams that have tried to get into those power conferences. And some of the other schools who don't want to be left out when they make that move, whether it's Colorado hiring Deion Sanders, whether it's Texas Tech and Cody Campbell, Texas Tech does not want to be left out of that elite group. North Carolina hiring Belichick. Those were all done to make sure that when this comes, and I think that
we have enough clout and money.
There's a strong belief that is coming. They don't want to be left out of that elite group.
Do you look at, because when we used to do this exercise just a couple years ago even, a school like in Indiana or a school like a Vanderbilt, And Indiana's an even, furthered case at this point, as they're the 1 seed in the college football playoff, and Curt Cignetti has done a tremendous job, and Fernando Mendoza wins the Heisman. But the Heisman runner-up is Diego Pavia at Vanderbilt, and what used to be a bottom dweller in the SEC. If you used to look at these conferences of the Big Ten and the SEC, which are at the tippity-toppity of all of this, and say, well, if they get to a place where they want to cut some bait at the end, those would have been 2 schools named. But now they have created a football culture of their own from a relevancy standpoint where, they could raise their hand easily. And we were talking yesterday that the money behind Indiana football, I didn't even realize, because that's
Mark
Cuban.
Mark
right.
Cuban.
So they have money. Vanderbilt has put all these resources in. It just feels like an endless game of schools trying to ensure what you just said. We don't get left out. But somebody's going to have to get left out if this goes the way that we kind of feel that it will.
Right. And that then plays into, and I think I saw the Boise State AD here in the last 2 or 3 days has his 12-point plan.
Yeah.
And he's a proponent of relegation and promotion and giving the opportunity to earn your way, into that elite group. But
how do you convince an Alabama to sign off on some future world where they could be forced into relegation?
Well, and if they got relegated by South Alabama.
Right.
If South Alabama
Or the Texas schools are such a great example because, if it's North Texas bumping out Texas or Texas A&M or Texas Tech.
Yeah. Or Fresno State bumping out USC or UCLA.
Don't say that.
So
please. Please, let's not be crazy.
Speaking of USC, they are playing today.
Yes, USC TCU in the famed Alamo Bowl.
Yes, and the last time that those 2 teams played, TCU was a member of the WAC in 1988, and they played USC in the 1998 Sun Bowl, and TCU beat USC the last time they played. But it started talking about teams that have made the move into.
Sure.
That was the beginning of TCU's rise to, 20 years later get into the Big 12.
Yeah.
But whether it was Dennis Francione and then Gary Patterson and the whole TCU rise. And my point is that you get the right football coach, and
it can happen.
That may be the first step, whether it's Joey McGuire at Texas Tech or Cignetti at Indiana.
We talked about it. The TCU one is a great example, one who tried, and Boise State continues to be in that fringe area, but they had Chris Peterson for that entire run from the Fiesta Bowl and all the good happenings there, and then Patterson with TCU, and TCU made it to the Big 12, and now they're just there, but Boise State didn't make it and continues to try to chase that place in one of the conferences that's perceived as protection, but we all know the Big 12 and the ACC are just... I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
Are the Big 12 and the ACC the new bad word in our household, mid-majors, and are the rest low majors?
I think that...
Is that unfair?
It's probably unfair because, the disparity between Texas Tech and Boise State is
still massive.
Really, really significant. Sure. But the gap between Texas Tech and Texas is still pretty significant, though, too. But they at least are, they've proven, and the gap between Indiana and Ohio State. But here you've got both Indiana and Texas Tech, as one of the top 4 teams playing in this football. Is it sustainable? And will we see those powers kind of circulate through, the next round of playoffs, and whether that's a 16-team playoff or a 24-team playoff. So, but the original question, when you said, when do I get asked about the group of 5? I think I'll...
That was 20 minutes ago.
I think I'll wait to answer that one.
Okay, CJ had something he wanted to ask.
So we're talking about the realignment from the bigger standpoint, right? From Boise State, Memphis trying to get in, USF, Tulane, them trying to get in to one of these power conferences. And that's one form of the realignment, Commish. The one that I want to talk about, though, is like in the group of 5, because they're down there. They're pilfering the good teams from the FCS. You look at the Sun Belt East, for instance. All of them, with the exception of Marshall, I think, were FCS maybe a decade ago. Maybe in the case of somebody like App State, maybe 11 years ago. But about a decade or so ago, everybody there, you throw in Jacksonville State, you throw in like a Texas State, those were FCS programs as recently as a decade or so ago. What is the incentive for these FCS schools to make the jump up? And then does that not impact and affect the rest of the FBS? If I'm Alabama, don't I then look around? We keep using Alabama. If I'm Georgia, don't I look around and say, wait a second, we're not the same as them? You brought up the difference in Texas Tech and Boise State, and then you brought it up Texas and Texas Tech. Well, imagine the difference in Georgia and Georgia State and Georgia Southern. Those shouldn't be peers to me. Why do these FCS schools from time to time want to make that jump up? And is there something that needs to be done about that to try and keep the split from happening?
It has been the last decade. Those 6 or 7 schools that made the jump from the Group of 5 to the Power 4, the ones that kind of replaced them, Texas State, Georgia Southern, App State, James Madison, Old Dominion, Liberty, and now Kennesaw State. In addition, Georgia State started football from scratch, as did South Alabama, so they never went through that FCS to FBS. And now, you read about whether it's the 2 Montana schools or the South Dakotas, North Dakotas that are primed to make the move to FBS. And I think that the powers to be, the Power 4 groups, and especially the Power 2, are saying, wait a second, Group of 5, look at the schools that left the FBS and look who they've been replaced by. And the Group of 5 is no longer what it was back in 2014 when the automatic was given to the Group of 5. And the success that the Group of 5 has had since that automatic came in games is not very good. They have not delivered and performed at a level that they did between 2006 when Boise State and Utah and TCU and UCF won games, significant games. There hasn't been a significant win, in the postseason since UCF beat LSU, Cincinnati got beat in the semifinals the only time. I mean, even last year, Boise State playing at Penn State. But right now, if I'm an athletic director at Tennessee or Alabama or USC, I'm questioning whether or not that Group of 5 automatic is verified today. Is it deserved today versus the teams that won those games back in the early 10s.
And Commish, when you say significant win, you're talking about BCS Bowl,
BCS New Year's Day games.
Got you.
New Year's Day games.
Because we see East Carolina, right, went out there and beat Pitt in one of these bowls. Yeah. Like it's Hawaii beats Cal in a bowl.
These are the BCS New Year's Day are now the playoff games, and there was again
the ones where assumingly the other team has all their players. No one's sitting. Right. It's a real game. There's stakes to be whatever the perceived stakes may be.
Meaningful games versus meaningless.
Well, we disagree on this because you kind of side with the hypothetical opinions of Tennessee or whoever it may be, re-questioning if the Group of 5 has a path. I look at it as, and I think it's in my blood, which is funny, but you came through the business side of it. I came from the emotional side of it because it was like my family, in the words of Brian Kelly. I look at it as long as this is the setup, as long as this is the gist, there has to be a path for the Group of 5, and it has to be a semi-manufactured path because, like you just pointed out, on merit and on actual strength of schedule based on how scheduling is going now as the power conferences are scheduling those teams less and less and not even giving them the opportunities to get those signature wins. If there's not a path for the Group of 5, then it is an invitational and it's not a playoff because those Group of 5 teams are still a part of the bigger picture for now. So in my opinion, the only way to get rid of that is to create a new picture.
And doesn't that then get into the antitrust? You brought that up earlier.
But before that, and one of the questions that you hear is that if you take away that automatic of the Group of 5, you're risking litigation and antitrust. If I was the czar,
why do we always make it a czar?
Czars.
Like who came up with the idea of a college football czar?
Was there ever a female czar? I don't know.
Oh, let's find out.
Yeah.
But the answer.
Wasn't Anastasia one?
No, she wasn't a czar.
The answer is...
She was the daughter of a czar.
The answer is a 16-team playoff, take away all the automatics, and if Boise State has the year that they had a year ago, the path is there. They earn it on the field. And prior to 2014, there was a standard that had to be met. It was top 12. And teams made that top 12 on a regular basis. And then it started, once some of the rotation left, and then it became the automatic. Here are the rankings since 2014 of the group of 5. Number 20, number 18, number 15, number 12. UCF gets in at number 8. Cincinnati gets in at number 8. Cincinnati gets in again at number 4 and 21. And then Boise State gets in last year at 9. But in the meantime, there were a lot of unranked teams that were taking and displacing teams, in the CFP New Year's Day games. And a 16-team playoff, let the good teams rise to the top. And there will be a Boise State or a TCU or a UCF or a Memphis that, when Memphis got in 2019, they were ranked number 17.
Sure.
Were they competitive? Yeah, they were competitive. But they wouldn't have gotten in under the old standard of top 12.
Yeah.
So let's return to
letting the rankings decide.
Yeah, just let the rankings play, and there will still be a path for the group of 5.
Catherine the First, Russia's first czar,
Czarina,
first female czar.
As Kip said.
She was the second wife of Peter.
So she only got in by marriage?
Yeah, so he dies, and then she takes over after a period of instability.
So then Chris has to become the czar.
Well, if I can...
we have some more here, because her daughter becomes the czar as well. Her daughter is Empress Elizabeth, who becomes a czar following a coup, and she ruled for about 2 decades. And then the great Catherine the Great. Catherine II is the czar. And I remember Catherine the Second because we learned about her. 30 years, she expanded Russia. So, yeah, there have been female czars, and 2 of them didn't have to be married first.
Thank you.
If I become the czar, you can replace me.
Oh, that's Nepo-Czarism. I love Nepo-Czarism. It's my favorite of all the Czarisms. Before I let you go, as we come to the end,
I mean, it only took you 6 years to get me on the show. So,
I know.
I appreciate
where you been hiding,
Where
Commish?
you been?
I appreciate the
Where you been reaching out for forever. You're a busy man.
Trying to let you retire in peace and enjoy a world where I know it's a hard thing, and I don't think people can grasp it unless they're in it. But when you do work in college athletics, or at least the time period that you worked in college athletics, it wasn't just a job. It was all encompassing. It was a lifestyle. You came up with so many of your peers in the industry. You all came up together. I mean, I always think of when you were up for the MAC job. Mm-hmm. Who were the other finalists for the MAC job?
Bob Bowlesby, who went on to become the AD at Iowa, to become the AD at Stanford, to become the Big 12 commissioner, and then John LeCrone, who became the commissioner of the Horizon League. And interesting enough there, we were all on the basketball committee at the same time, which again was that fraternity of commissioners. But no, I mean, I was privileged to be around the table. Roy Kramer just passed away, in the last month, who was considered to be the father of the BCS and the kind of the father of the postseason football. And and I'm sitting next to Roy Kramer between 1990 and all that. And Jim Delaney, if I were to write a book, the title may be something around the lines of, 30 years at the table watching Roy Kramer and Jim Delaney change the landscape of not just college football, but of college sports. And the SEC and the Big Ten capitalized on the 1986 Supreme Court ruling that, talk about power shift. The Supreme Court took away the power of the NCAA to control the television rights for football, and it replaced it with the conferences. And Jim and Roy recognized that they were sitting on gold mines, and they then, made the moves and did the business deals that allowed the SEC and the Big Ten today to be almost, if not already, $1 billion a year enterprises.
And that was where I was going with that. From your perspective, like, did it lose its soul a little bit? Is it naive to think that there was a soul to begin with? Maybe. And from this point forward, I mean, I look back at some of the hirings in the last 15 years as you saw a shift from that fraternity of commissioners and people who had come up through the NCAA ranks or through athletic director positions or positions within different athletic departments across the country. And then it became where can we find someone with immense business acumen or a legal background to run what we hope to turn into $1 billion corporation?
Yeah. There was a shift, and there were, Mike Slive came up through the legal side, and Mike Oresco, came up through the media side, and then the next move was, the Larry Scott quote experiment of the Pac-12, and Larry had a brilliant mind, and he had a vision. It just didn't necessarily, maybe wasn't the right time to exercise some of that. But and now you see that the 10 commissioners around the table today, Greg Sankey came up through the ranks, and Greg Sankey was a finalist one time for the Mid-American Conference job and backed out at the last minute to stay at the SEC. And had he gone to the MAC, I don't know if he would have ever resurfaced. But Greg Sankey and Judy McLeod and John Steinbruck are the only commissioners sitting around the table today that I sat next to for the 30 years that I did it.
In your 30 years that you did it, what was your favorite memory?
Okay, this one may surprise you. You mentioned that I was on the basketball committee, and during that time, I had the privilege of giving you an opportunity to be a ball girl, a ball kid at the 2004, 2005, 2006 NCAA Final Four.
I peaked.
And
my life has just been one sad attempt to get back to that
standing on
time.
the court those 3 years, to listen to, the NCAA Final Four. Help me on this song.
One shining moment.
One shining moment. That was my one shining moment, was standing with you. So how about that? So
that's my favorite memory.
Yeah.
But it was, truly, I grew up through Final Fours and bowl games and cheering on the Boise States and the Nevadas and the Fresno States, and I don't want to leave anyone out. I was even a New Mexico State basketball fan for a minute. I was trained to be a Diego Pavia fan when he was at New Mexico State because I sang the national anthem at the WAC basketball tournament, and my dad said to wait on the PA announcer until after I finished to, if I did a good job, say, Jessica Benson is the daughter of Commissioner Karl Benson, and if I didn't, just let it go. And he said my name afterwards.
And you nailed it.
And I wrote the words on my hand because I was so nervous.
But you also suffered, the changes, the business changes, the career. There's always casualties. Every time that there was a conference realignment, someone got damaged. And whether it's commissioners got damaged or conferences got damaged or presidents got fired over conference realignment.
Yeah.
Commissioners, would be lost in there. So it was not a. I was telling somebody the other day that you spent Christmas in Hawaii 10 years in a row from the time you were about 8 years old to 18, and you thought Christmas in Hawaii was regular. And when I took the job to go to the Sun Belt, I know the first thing or one of the things you said, does this mean that our Christmas Day gig in Hawaii was over? And it was
up, but it was a good time while it was there. Absolutely. And my first time I remember being in Memphis. Someday I'll tell my dear tales of my first time in Memphis was at an R.C. Johnson birthday party when I was a small child. But my second time in Memphis, I was only in Memphis twice before I moved here, was we stayed here before the Arkansas State game, which was, were they winning the regular season Sun Belt title that year?
They had just won the regular season title.
Okay, so they were.
It was my birthday.
It was your birthday weekend.
And you'd already moved here.
No, I hadn't moved here. I was in
that's
college.
Right, that's right. You
That's
were in
before I was
college.
even in the
That's
tri-state.
right,
I was in college. We
You
met here
came
for
in-
your birthday weekend.
You came in for my birthday. We drove to Jonesboro.
We ate at Majestic Grill. Somebody recommended it.
We did. We drove to Jonesboro for me to be there and present the trophy at Arkansas State. And
I will never forget.
There had been a little issue about the commissioner not recognizing Arkansas State when in fact I really was trying to get Arkansas State in the Liberty Bowl. But in the meantime was moving things around, and I proceeded to get booed off the stage at Jonesboro on my birthday.
And I
with
turned
you
around.
in
I
town.
turned around to a lady behind me, and I go, "It's his birthday!" And then she was like, "Oh, everybody, shh! I think they were."
Only a daughter can protect their father.
I tried. Between them and the fan base that shouted, "Nice shot, Karl Benson," as a an addition because they were doing "Nice shot, asshole," and you find them, and so then they changed it to "Nice shot, Karl Benson." All right, we gotta go. CJ's been playing the music off. CJ's trying to get us off.
Well,
It's okay. We'll bring
Happy
it
New
back
Year.
sometime. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Grizzlies Sixers tonight on Peacock. Don't forget, it is on Peacock tonight. 7 o'clock, we will be out at FedEx Forum. We will see you tomorrow on the Grind City Media Holiday Special, hopefully talking about a Grizzlies win. Thanks to my dad, Karl, for coming on today. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Why are you throwing me under the bus?
Because you've been playing the music in
We've
my
got-